how do you propose to address the needs of our new veterans facing the difficulties of the wars and their service to this country? And I would just simply add in the new veterans and the existing veterans as well. Congressman Perriello.
Well, the greatest honor I've had is serving on the Veterans Affairs Committee. It is not only a great honor because we get a chance to serve those who served our country, but it's also one of the last remaining bipartisan places in Washington where we have been able to come together and get things done. We've been able to deliver a lot of results for returning veterans. Before I got there, Senator Webb had helped pass the new modern GI Bill, and what we did over the last year was make sure it was implemented as smoothly as possible. We have 250,000 new veterans who are enrolled in four-year colleges right now under the new GI Bill. We've also seen, though, unprecedented unemployment for returning OEF and OIF veterans. And many say, hey, you know, four-year college is great for some. I'm looking to get in the workforce in 12 months, making a wage I can support a family on. So I've been fighting to allow more GI Bill benefits to apply to technical training, technical certificates, trade schools, and other things that people can get in and out of in 6 to 18 months. We've also looked at the issue of PTSD and suicide rates and forcing the VA to have a stronger screening process as people are doing the outtakes. In the healthcare arena, we've worked hard to start bringing healthcare to the veteran instead of the veteran to the healthcare, particularly in rural communities, using telemedicine, using community-based outreach clinics and other traveling facilities so that people are not driving a huge number of hours to get to the specialized care, but they continue to have that option if they so choose. We've also worked where we've seen businesses become increasingly hesitant to hire a veteran, where it used to be the first thing someone wanted to put on their resume. We've seen people leaving it off because of concerns about multiple deployments, getting called back up, and mental and physical issues. So we've been working with business leaders on tax credits and other ways to ensure that people are looking out to hire a veteran, as well as making it easier to start a veteran-owned business. But we also see a group of Korean and Vietnam-era vets coming into the VA system for the first time because of the down economy and because of aging. And we also want to make sure that those who've often been forgotten in the VA system are getting their due. We fought hard, and after years and years and years, we were actually able to finally get the funding for the backlog of Agent Orange exposure cases so that those who've been fighting the VA for years and are late in life will certainly have the recognition and the support that they need. So we need to continue to make sure we respect and fight for all of our veterans.
Thank you, Congressman Perriello. Jeff, the same topic, 2 minutes, veterans issues, and just the specific question was about the new veterans that are coming into the system.
Well, I think the new veterans we really do have to consider, and it's not just what happens on the ground when the veterans come home, but as Congressman Perriello just mentioned, that the VA is seeing an influx now of Vietnam-era vets who are returning to the VA. A lot of these young men and women, while they're participating in these engagements overseas, experience bumps, bruises, things that don't bother them when they're young. But as many of us know, as you begin to age, those things become more and more relevant. We not only have to address what's happening when these young men come home, we have to be proactive in making sure that the VA is ready in 15 or 20 years to handle the ailments, the conditions, the problems that these young men and women are going to look to come have addressed when these things become more relevant to them, when they start to feel those aches and pains, when they start to question, why can't I hear? What's wrong with my vision? How come I have numbness in my hand? These are all things when you're a young man or a young woman that maybe you can overlook for a little while. But I think that we've seen it in history, and I think that we've seen it with the Vietnam vets, and we have to be very aware that with this protracted engagement, that the number of veterans that are going to be seeking care in the next 15 to 20 years is going to explode. And the VA and the system is going to have to be ready. We do have to work hard to try to make sure that these young men and women have jobs when they return home. My son has another few years in, but if he comes back to Danville, what are his prospects when he comes back to Danville? Is he going to be able to find a job? Is he going to have to move? They're going to fight for our country. What are we doing here to fight to establish economic independence? What are we doing to ensure that we are having a place that's safe for them to come back to, a place where they can come in, walk back into the workforce, and be productive members of the civilian society. They've done their duty as military men and women, and now they deserve to come back to a place and to areas of our district here that have some sense of economic viability. And I'm not sure that that economic viability can only be found at the feeding trough of the federal government.